Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to have a little look at Bitcoin, some price action, some thoughts from industry leaders, also Polkadot, Terra Luna, Ethereum, and we have a play to earn game as well, all in this video. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're new, and to support the channel, check out the pinned comment down below, and you can get involved with our Zoom meeting on Wednesday if you become a Patreon member. Also, just to highlight, I did my first interview here with the founder Rodrigo of Moonray Game. It was quite an interesting chat there, around 40 minutes in duration. Do be sure to check that one out if you're interested in play to earn games coming out in 2022 that could be rather big. So jumping into the price action of Bitcoin, drawn a few lines on the chart here, some dotted dash lines from the kind of top of the range here, both of which clearly trending downwards with different anchored points. And likewise to the bottom of the range as well. We've got a couple of anchored points down here, but all of this is showing us a cylinder pattern that is going to have some form of resolution probably towards the end of this month. Maybe we'll be in there, or maybe we'll be in the kind of bigger cylinder out here as well. But we're going to see what happens over the next few weeks. Clearly at the moment in the market, liquidity is down. There's also not a lot of interest at this moment in time. You can see from like views and a range of different metrics, people have pretty much packed up and left for the holidays. So this kind of week to 2 week period is pretty much just tying us over into the new year. Now we do want to see Bitcoin maintain its path within this range. We don't want it to wick below this or even close below this. This would be pretty bad. You can see there's been previous wicks on this 4-hourly chart to the bottom dashed line down here. We've still got an hour and 24 until this candle closes. So even if it does come to the bottom here, this could still resolve as just a wick on this candle. But generally things are trending down. Doesn't take much of a TA expert to work that one out at this moment in time. So Bitcoin trending down, the market in general looking pretty damn flat. Let's just jump into this. Some amusing thoughts here from Kobe. Yes, more lockdowns will decimate the shreds of mental health I'm clinging on to. However, more importantly, does anyone know if these lockdowns are bullish or bearish for my crypto coins? And this is kind of sentiment echoed by a lot of people. Clearly with this Omicron variant going around right now, it looks like most people are going to be locked down for some period of time, which is not great, especially on a mental health front. I'm sure most of us are having some form of maybe anxiety or just frustration with the whole situation. But on the flip side, is this bullish or bearish for my crypto coins? That is the question everyone wants to know. Short term, this could be bearish. Long term, of course, we're going to just adopt more and more people the longer they are stuck to their computers 24/7, 365. That being said, crypto has been a great escape for the majority of us since March of 2020. If we didn't have crypto, what the heck else would we be doing? We'd probably be going stir crazy. So this has been a great area to really focus your time and attention to learn about these markets. And hopefully we can continue to do the same going into 2022 and having an even more fruitful year potentially. I'd like to see crypto decouple from the traditional markets at some point, and 2022 could be that major year. So this from Rect Capital, TLDR on his post. We're still consolidating here, coiling in towards the apex of this pattern, pretty much as I showed as well. We're going to see a resolution at some point, and people are hoping towards the upside. This from Pentoshi, building his longs from 42 to 47k. So he is looking for longs. But he does say this: bears are still in full control and marching forward, leaving no survivors on each bull defense. They have the city surrounded. Losing a 41 to 42k region would signal the start of a new regime. So here alluding to a bearish stance if we get down to this kind of range, but he is looking for longs between 42 and 47k. So at this moment in time, you've got big traders looking to go long, just waiting for appropriate entries and waiting for some market sentiment to shift. This from Light Crypto: bears have been the aggressor, but they've made little progress. So he's suggesting, even though we've been pushing down and down and down, that the bears haven't made a meaningful move to the downside, and they haven't been able to reclaim the lows of the cascade down to around 41, 42k, which is that territory that Pentoshi has also referenced. Also, cash bids make the path of least resistance upwards. This makes the risk to reward setup for a short squeeze, not a long squeeze. And he also cites down here some of the other issues that have been going on right now. Clearly, December 31st is the last day of trade for any Chinese mainland residents on the Huobi exchange. We've seen a lot of Chinese exchange crackdowns for their citizens, and this would have exacerbated the sell pressure going into the end of year. Clearly, if you are uncertain as to whether you're going to be able to even utilize crypto going forward, it makes sense that you would sell out rather than just withdraw the assets and hold them. There are probably a lot of people who are pressurized into this kind of situation right now. So that's kind of the silver lining to all of this. We may get a resolution to the upside once we're out of this Christmas/New Year period going into Q1. Clearly, a new calendar year can also spell new investment from institutions with fresh P&Ls. Then Will Clemente here, talking of Bitcoin short squeezes. He called one previously on July 23rd. He says, we're not currently there yet, but the setup is becoming more likely, in his opinion, where you have this negative funding rate sustaining throughout a period of bullish momentum for price actions. We haven't seen the bullish price action yet, but we're seeing a lot of negative funding. And what this suggests is that we'll have people continually shorting the market, but a spike to the upside for price could cause a cascade of liquidations to the upside. Over the weekend, Polkadot parachains are live. This was the 18th of December, Saturday. And so this is obviously a monumental thing for Polkadot's ecosystem, for blockchain technology in general, as well as we're seeing the first layer 0 protocol go live. Now, top marks for anyone who was able to guess the top 5 parachain winners here: Akala, Moonbeam, Parallel Finance, A-Star, and Clover. I don't think that many people were shouting Clover as the 5th slot winner from day dot. And there was a full 2-hour Polkadot stream to go along with this, which I need to catch up with maybe after this video. If we just look at the auction slots here, you can see these first 5 winners, and in total we've got 113 million dot locked away. This is roughly 10% of the total supply after just those first 5 slots. They're hoping to have up to 100 parachain slots. So roughly 5% of the way, but 10% of tokens locked up. I know a lot of people have been disappointed with the price action, myself included, but you're seeing a very new blockchain develop from the ground up here, and it will take time for this to get going. But if we can see continued lockups to this kind of tune over slots 6 to 11, as you can see, almost 2 million dot locked for Efinity at this moment in time, well then at some point the supply has to give. You just keep locking up token after token after token, the liquid amount of dot circulating on the market gets sucked up. Now onto Ethereum, a little bit of an update here. This was on CoinDesk. Ethereum call demand signals anticipation of a year-end rally. Investors who buy calls are implicitly bullish on the market. This means that you have the right but not the obligation to actually buy that asset at the predefined price. So what they've seen through this OTC desk is that 18,500 contracts for $4,400 calls and around 14,000 contracts for 4,200 calls have been made over the Asian session here. So the expiry of these contracts is December 31st. We're roughly, respectively, $300 to $500 away from that price to the upside for ETH right now, with just 11 days to go until those expire. So that would suggest that some people believe that we can see a bit of an Ethereum rally coming out the back of this here. And that wouldn't be crazy talk. I mean, $300 to $500 move in 11 days in crypto is pretty much nothing, and the markets are highly illiquid right now. So maybe there's something to that, but we'll wait and see and continue to monitor the situation there for ETH. But we would like to see a breakout for ETH to hopefully send the altcoins. Let's jump into Luna. Do Kwon celebrating here. Number 2 by TVL is now Terra. So this chart, I believe, excludes the native tokens that are staking. So I think it's the TVL actually on the applications. And you can see from this, Terra has only got 13 protocols live, yet it's already amassed $16 billion in TVL. Whereas Binance has roughly the same, but 222 protocols. Ethereum has 357. So you can imagine that over the course of 2022, as the Terra ecosystem expands and grows exponentially, that this TVL is going to be absolutely mammoth. And we've already seen huge interest in Astroport here. They've already got $1 billion worth of TVL over there from lock drop participants alone, which is pretty epic stuff and shows you that people are very keen on DeFi for the Terra ecosystem. And as they've shown, all these applications tie in nicely between each other, and it just builds for a great user experience. This is one of the first places I've come to in crypto where I've actually seen the opportunity here to start depositing funds and really never have to leave that closed loop eco. And especially as these things, Astroport, Mars, get built out, with of course that inclusion of Anchor Protocol as well, you've got everything you need. You can deposit your funds, you can save, you can invest into various different other Terra-based protocols if you wish. You could buy synthetic stocks. You can just do everything that you could possibly want to do all within one small ecosystem. So super bullish on Terra, as we all know. $74 right now. It's been one of the outperformers of the whole of this industry. If we look at the last 30 days and you chart against Bitcoin or you chart against Ethereum, I'll take the cash one out of there, it's trending up against the two biggest cryptocurrencies. This means it is gaining market share from them both. Also, a little bit of celebration here on stream. Terra UST is above DAI right now. 9 billion versus 8.9. And also we have the promise from Do Kwon that we will hit 10 billion by year end. So again, 11 days until this happens, 1 billion TVL yet to be realized. Can that come? Well, of course it can when you look at this stat here. So this from Yield Labs, they're posting about Anchor Protocol with its huge TVL. There's now 4 billion amassed onto Anchor. So the first billion took 151 days, the second took 80 days only, and then the third 31 days, 1 month, and then the fourth billion just 2 weeks. So this happened yesterday on the 19th of December, and now we have 11 days to pretty much get 1 more billion on here, and then we will hit the TVL for UST that was predicted, if this is just fresh funds. Of course, that is a big if as well. But you can see it's possible to get an additional $1 billion in this ecosystem if a lot of new entrants come and say, look, I want 19.5% on my stables. I'm not very happy with the inflation level in my home country and I need a bit of an out. I don't want to go full crypto as yet, but I'm happy to take on some stable assets. As this becomes a bit more apparent for people and people see how easy it is to utilize this ecosystem and gain a healthy yield, I'm sure more and more people will come and the floodgates will really open. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. And I can imagine a lot of people in Turkey, if they've been red pilled on Anchor Protocol, will be looking to shift their Turkish lira into UST. So a bit of a ripping end to the year for Terra, even though everything else is pretty much flat, all going down. It's been a really great time this last few weeks, just enjoying watching the portfolio maintain some bullish momentum whilst most things are fading off. Then here, finally, we have this. So this is pretty much Flappy Bird's play to earn. And I'm sure most people played Flappy Birds on their mobile. It was all the rage for, I would say, a good year to 2 years. And this one is now coming out very soon. So let's talk about an upcoming GameFi project that is going to be backed by some of the top guilds, Merit Circle, Yield Guild, and also big VCs like Highframe and angel investors like Santiago from Parafy, OX Mackie, and Kane ETH. So the token is FNC. I won't go too much into this, but Kieran Warwick asked, play to earn Flappy Bird, where are you at? And then Fancy Birds came right here, launching soon, Kane Warwick. That was roughly a couple months back at this point in time, and now it is coming to fruition. So they started to launch this via a copper launch. Like we would have seen on this channel already, price decays and you can bid at any moment in time. The more bid that comes in, the price starts to shoot back up. We'll jump in that in just a second. But essentially, this is a game that could amass a huge number of users, as Flappy Bird was super, super addictive and downloaded by millions of users. And this is going to be one of those kind of games that doesn't require much attention. When you've got 10, 15 minutes spare, just picking it up and giving it a go. So some upsides to this, people are going to be well rehearsed in what Flappy Bird is. It's an easy one to onboard new users. However, token launch here, price decay came down to roughly 18, 20 cents. A few people got bids in there. I would suggest most people bought in the 40 to high 30 cent region. They only sold 48% of the tokens. Clearly, market is down. People are less bullish on buying stuff, but it has had a nice return here over the last day, up to 45 cents now. You can see it launched on the open market, went from 40 cents to 28 cents, and then is showing some strength here. Current market cap, $19 million. FDV though, 500 bill. Let's jump in here. This is the website. They are going to have a mint for the birds themselves very soon, so stay tuned for that. 8,888 birds are required to play, so there may be an opportunity to get involved with those NFTs. But what I would like to point out down here is on the roadmap that the mobile app is Q2 of 2022. So I think Flappy Bird as a play to earn game makes a lot of sense. but it needs to be mobile enabled to get mass adoption. I don't think many people will be sat at their computers clicking their mouse repetitively, just trying to get that little bird past all the obstacles to earn a few cents here and there. I'm not 100% convinced on this as yet, but when the mobile app comes out, I think this could be a bit of a game changer potentially. So this is just one that came across my radar and I thought it'd be nice to bring to the channel right now. Highly pixelated birds, as you can see. Doesn't look particularly special, but it's kind of that easy gaming experience. Pick it up, play it for 10 minutes, put it back down. And sometimes some of these simplest ideas are the ones that really catch on. Hence, this did so well the first time round. So with play to earn components, makes sense that it could do well. So there's our market roundup for Monday, the 20th of December, 2021. Going into this kind of Christmas lull period now, I think there's not a lot of people who are really committing to cranking out the content, but I will be here Monday through Friday with you guys, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe and check out Patreon via the link down below if you want to get involved with our Zoom call on Wednesday. I will catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.